long into the evening, two of the committee members are no longer with us. Did they die? No. But they're dead to me, for the record. Dead to me.
Wow.
There was controversy, there was argument, and so it is still the committee's tiers. There's only 5 of us now. Let's reveal them, and then we'll get into the controversy. All right, we're going to go quickly through the very bottom. Giants almost won. You stay the worst team in football. The 4 teams above you, you're all terrible. Jags, I wanted to root for you. It's very difficult. The group above, you've shown a little bit. A couple of you have wins. I know Broussard thinks the Colts and Vikings could be alive. I think the Falcons could be alive. But these are your worst 10 teams in the league. All right, now to the more interesting tiers and the more noteworthy teams. Dolphins, Patriots, all of them playoff caliber defenses. All of them super questionable offenses. I hate to do that to Jalen Hurts, but he's got to expand his throwing area aside from just the right quadrant of the field. Big Ben is cooked like a turkey, and we know the quarterback situations for the other 4. Undefeated but untrustworthy. You're 2-0, but can anyone really trust you? Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold are the quarterbacks for the first 2. That speaks for itself. Oh, the Raiders. But what about the Raiders? What about the Raiders? When could the Raiders ever start 2-0 and then flame out? Well, how about last year? How about the year before with Gruden when they started 3-2 and then flamed out? The Cardinals. Nick, why are the Cardinals up there? Well, first of all, the Cardinals shouldn't be undefeated if the Vikings kicker could make a 37-yarder. Second of all, you guys know how I feel about Cliff Kingsbury, but maybe more importantly is this. I think Kyler Murray might have like the reverse PTSD from the Hail Mary to DeAndre Hopkins. It was such a great thing that happened to him. He keeps trying to recreate it. The problem is he's doing it. It's like 8 minutes into the first quarter. Blammo! He's just firing it downfield. Kyler, you're not always trailing by 6 in the final 30 seconds, but he plays like he is, so they make me a little nervous. But the Cardinals could move up, as could the Raiders. All right. Now revealed, and now we're getting there. We're getting there, and we're getting close to the controversy. Okay. Playoff caliber. Chargers, Titans, Cowboys. They all have a loss. They all do something exceptionally well, but nobody really thinks any of those teams can win the title, but they're definitely playoff caliber. Fringe contenders. Ravens, Seahawks, Bills. They all have a loss that was a little head-scratching, but we also know if you tell me any of those 3 teams are playing their A game, they can beat anybody in football. And now, the controversy, and now what cost us 2 of our committee members. Here we're at. True contenders.
What?
You might say, I know what you're thinking. I know you're looking at that, and I know what's jumping out at you. Nick, you moved the Browns down? I know that's what jumps off the page. Yeah, I didn't think they were that impressive against the Texans. Neither did the committee. That was a tie game till Tyrod Taylor got hurt. The Packers stayed where they were. After steadying themselves, they've only played 1 good half. And the Bucks stayed where they were. But we didn't hold against them. The terrible quarter they played against Tampa. They played very well on offense and defense. They made timely plays. Number 1 contenders, the Rams and the 49ers. Both of these teams can beat you anyway. They can beat you with great defense. They can beat you on the ground. And they can beat you through the air. You might say, Nick, prove it to me. Okay, great. Rams play the Bucks. Niners play the Packers this week. I think the committee will be vindicated. And then the controversy. Then what cost my wife came downstairs and told the committee they needed to be quiet. Someone slammed a door. It was an ugly scene. All I'm going to say is this. You don't need to trust me. Trust Fox Bet or any of your favorite gambling establishments. I challenge anyone to find a sports book in America where the literal favorites are not the Kansas City Chiefs. Aberration built on an anomaly. They're not going to overreact to a bad pick and an awful fumble. They are going to stay the course knowing, just like Vegas knows, that the favorites are still the Kansas City Chiefs. So there it is. These are not standings. These are not power rankings, Broussard. These are tiers. And they will not be bullied, even internal pressure from committee members. There it is. I usually say you're going to shower me with applause, but I know today's a controversial day, so go ahead. Do your best.
Yeah, it is. And Nick, I hate to do this after we just celebrated you for getting in the Hall of Fame, But Nick, please tell me that was a comedy routine and that's a typo at the top of your tiers and that Kansas City's really not number one. So can we see the real list? Can we see the real tiers? No. Please tell me that was a comedy routine.
This is
no?
What do you mean? What do you mean? No, they're not the favorites.
Nick.
Tell me why. Tell me why they're not the favorites. Tell me why they're not the best team in football. I'm just curious.
Look, all I can say is thank God that the Associated Press, the USA Today coaches poll, Quinnipiac, all these polls out here are not run by your committee. Because this is ridiculous. And I like the Chiefs. But my goodness, how, Nick? How in the world can they be number one? Number one, they're coming off a loss. All right? Number two, they got arguably the worst defense in the NFL. All right? They're last in rushing by a mile. I get it. They've played some tough teams. But still, who they going to have to beat in the playoffs? Who they going to have to beat in the playoffs? Tough teams. Tennessee runs the football. Cleveland runs the football. Baltimore runs the football. All right, and then they're giving up 32.5 points a game. Patrick Mahomes has to wear his cape every single play for that defense. Yeah. All right, and Tampa Bay, Nick, should clearly be number one. First of all, give them a little respect as the defending Super Bowl champions. All right. Secondly, they got the best, the best offense in football. They have even more weapons than Kansas City. And their defense, while it struggled, hadn't been nearly as bad as Kansas City's. And they have a track record that makes me say, you know what? They are going to improve. And not only do you not have them number one, you got the audacity to put them below the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams were lucky to beat an injury-plagued Indianapolis team Sunday. They struggled with them. And San Fran, they beat Philadelphia, who's one of your offensive offenses. And then who was the other team? Detroit, who's one of the worst teams in the league, as you got on your tiers. Nick, this is egregious. This is egregious.
Okay. So listen, you play who's on your schedule, first of all, so I'm not going to hold that against the Niners. So it's very interesting. It sounds like Broussard is very confident the Bucs are going to beat the Rams this week. The committee is not. The committee believes this week we will have these two teams play each other, and the committee will be vindicated. But the Chiefs and Bucs are not on each other's schedule, so let's just leave the Bucs and Rams part out of it. Let's go Chiefs versus Bucs. It sounds like your gripe with the Chiefs is a defensive gripe. The Chiefs' defense is the reason. So let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say the Chiefs and Bucs offenses are similar. I think the Chiefs is far better, but set that aside. The Bucs defense, are we sure it's good? Because the Cowboys moved the ball all over the place, up and down the field. Oh, they're going to do that to everyone. But they didn't do that to the Chargers. Cowboys had 17 points against the Chargers until a 56-yard field goal at the gun. Oh, but Atlanta's going to, Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley, they're going to move the week before, Atlanta scored 6 points against Philadelphia. And those teams moved the ball at will on Tampa. So, if your concern about Kansas City is its defense, one would ask, should that concern not be echoed entirely about Tampa? And can you make the case that Tampa's going to have a great defense without saying, but what about last year? Because the committee does not look backwards, the committee looks forwards. We're not worried about what happened yesterday or last week or last epoch. We're worried about what will happen tomorrow and today. And so I'm just curious, is there a great case to be made that Tampa has a great defense? Because I haven't seen it. I've seen injuries. I've seen guys move the ball on them. I just haven't seen the great defense. That's it.
Nick, you have to take last year into consideration when all of your starters are back. When your defensive coordinator is back and he's excellent, Todd Bowles. That's the thing. All I'm saying is track record. If the Chiefs came out and lost both of their first games, you would look at their track record to say they're fine. They're fine. And that's what you're doing now. Because you can't be basing it on these two games. You've got to be basing on last year. Right? Because they didn't look great against Cleveland, and they certainly didn't look great against Baltimore.
It's like a beautiful tapestry that's hung on your wall, a quilt with, things from all different places of the world. There's a lot of things that go into this. What it is not, however, Wilds, is a standings. And what we will not do, and what all the power rankings across America will do, is say, who are the 2-0 teams? Those 7, they all are the top 7. A monkey with a typewriter can do that. That is not what we have the committee for, Wilds.
I totally agree. And first of all, let me apologize for my friend Broussard's tone. Again, Broussard, less vinegar, more honey. And I apologize that you had 2 committee members leave. My goodness, I am sorry. If there is room for 2 more committee members, maybe, all we ask for is a few sunflower seeds and some dried fruit. Perhaps you can make some space. We are available Tuesday nights. And I will just show you what we would bring to the committee. How about that? We'll just what we bring. I brought a petition here. I will treat you with the utmost respect. I would ask the Raiders to be moved up for the following reasons contained henceforth. Reason number 1, air attack. What is the air attack, you might say? Derek Carr leads the NFL with 817 passing yards. Only Russell Wilson